Good evening to all participants. So now we will start the session. So I, Jaimangal Singh, founder and CEO at Retron branch at Bangalore. I welcome all the participants in our just a quick walkthrough over the upcoming training programs which we are going to organize from this week's. So there were many queries, so we thought that better we will clarify it while having an interactive webinar. So first I'll be showing you what different programs and what are the course contents and all the details regarding the fee and the installment also, which is there. So let's begin. So in this upcoming training programs, we are conducting on various modules, say Python, Matlab, SolidWorks, Android, Robotics. So I'll be taking care of Matlab and Python. So like in this two softwares, we'll be dealing everything right from the application development to artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the trending application development. So why, after all, we are going towards Matlab and Python? First, let us quickly go through it. See, now these days, the artificial intelligence becomes a very hot trending topic, and most of the company, whether it is mid-scale or large-scale company, they are deploying these kinds of services in order to reduce their manual effort. And you know that because of this COVID pandemic effect, like what was the effect to the all industries because of the hampering in the manpower, their entire production drops. So now all the company, whether they are manufacturing company or service sector company or e-commerce or banking, everybody is trying to develop a system through which they can automate the entire task, say whether it is a billing task or inquiry or customer or forecasting of the products which will be requiring. So all these things we are dealing with a machine learning, and machine learning compared to the traditional, like the way of coding which you are doing in C++, Java or whatever, it is way simpler. Okay, just you need to be like know how to do it or implement it. So their deployment plays a very important part, and how you can deploy it in different applications and make a very uh, easy to use application for the non-technical persons or the consumers who will be using at that point. So for that reason, the famous platforms which are being right now being used in majority of the section are Matlab and Python. Other than this, we have R language also, but R language people generally use in stocks, finance, and statisticals domain and mathematics. But Matlab and Python are more generic, out of which Python is more generic. Okay, so that is the main reason, like why you should be upgrading your skills toward these areas. So let's see a quick comparison between this Matlab and Python. Like what is the advantage you are getting? So see, if you want to develop your career in the research sector area, okay, where say like robotics, automation or prototyping or predictive maintenance, energy forecasting, medical, then Matlab will be a much better choice in comparison to Python, because in terms of programming language and the methodology, they both are at same position. They both are very high level programming language, which means that it is not complicated for any human being to write the code. It means that it is very user friendly to them. You just have to write the algo, okay, and not the entire, you have to worry about the syntax on that thing, because it is very user friendly programming language is there, which you normally use in your day to day life. The same keywords, the English words are there. So it makes the entire writing and development of application very user friendly. So why Matlab is preferred in these area is that Matlab has an extra advantage, that it not only help you or gives you platform to write algorithm, else Matlab has an ability to create the entire algorithm by its own also. Okay, so that is not there in the Python. You have to write the code. Okay, but in Matlab, there are some toolbox in which you just have to give the task which you want to perform, and Matlab will write the entire algorithm. So it makes the entire R&D work, which is more tedious in nature and hectic, very simplified. So that's why if, so the companies, now I'll come to the companies which are using Matlab. So the railway sector, especially because from last 3 years, there is quite a rise in the demand of those engineers who are particularly skilled enough in Matlab domain. Okay, Then all the companies like, say, those who are working on electric vehicles, say Tata, Volkswagen, BMW, Volvo. So these companies are also looking towards a particular skill set in MATLAB, as it not only provides the coding platform, rather it has an enriched simulating platform also, in which you can have a live simulation of those 3D models. Okay, you can optimize it, you can tune it with different controllers. So anything related to communication, when it comes to simulation related to 3D models and optimization, uh, like related to physical product development, then yes, MATLAB is preferred. And if you compare now the Python, then Python is basically used in IT sector industries. Why? Because in IT sector, we have a requirement that we have to reduce the cost of development. So because you know that MATLAB is a commercial software. So whatever you develop at the end, you have to bear out the license cost. So that is why it is only dedicated to the research development or government centers like DRDO, ISRO, and Tata, Volkswagen, like this big giant companies uses, because it overcross the break-even point. But for IT sector company, they can't use these softwares because it comes with a fixed cost. Okay, so Python, as you know, it is an open source and it has a very rich library. So it makes other people to use exactly with same is how you're using MATLAB. Just because it don't has the its own control toolbox, so you don't enjoy that luxury in terms of R&D in comparison to MATLAB. But remaining the other thing, whatever you can achieve via MATLAB, you can achieve it through Python also. But Python has an extra advantage when it comes to usability in terms of commercial product. So in commercial product, Python, because it is open source, so all other platforms, say Google, AWS, clouds, they all have their integration methods available for Python. So if you know Python, then you can easily deploy not even the apps which are developed on, say, Android or Java platform. The coding and the AI part, you can easily integrate with the AWS cloud platform also. They provide you the integration basically. So it finds its usability in many areas, say web application, then your cloud-based application software development, as well as all the research sector work. Okay, like what you can do with the numerical computation and graphics visualization, everything you can achieve via Python also. So, and because it is free, so there is no fixed cost. So obviously your profit margin increases. So if you are focused towards the IT sector companies, then in comparison to MATLAB, you should prefer upskilling yourself in Python domain. So that is the basic difference. So it totally depends upon what career you want to choose. Okay, and accordingly you can select any of these. And in our course also, let me show you, we are taking the common as well as the distinctive applications. So say I'll first quickly cover the Matlab course. So here in the module 1, we'll be covering everything related to the basic knowledge required for programming development. So introduction, then data variables, function, programming, script, everything. So that all we are covering in the module 1, along with Simulink and multibody, so that if you are working on some product development, say electric car or robotic arm, you can simulate it in a three-dimensional manner, not just with a script or a 2D graph only. Okay. And after that, we'll be dealing with the other modules which are common in Python also, like the computer vision part. Okay, like how to recognize object and the pattern recognition, vectorization of image, which later on we uses for, again, for recognition purpose, along with the AI domain and machine learning domain. So in AI domain and machine learning domain, these are some prerequisites that you should be very good in data pre-processing. Okay, like how to remove the noise, how to deal with the outliers, spacing data, and how to include the data from different sources. Because again, in our present world, we have data not limited, rather unlimited in amount. Okay, it can be taken from the website source, from mobiles, through apps. Okay, so how you can deal with those things. Then data analysis part. So These are the common modules which are there in Python also, along with the optimization like genetic algorithm, TLBO, and there are other types of algorithm also in Matlab. Though TLB is not the part, but that also will be using it. And then after that, how you can create your own models based upon what kind of problem you are dealing, like whether it is a time series problem or it is related to just recognition based problems. So whatever are the recent hot trending technologies are there, okay, that all will be learning throughout the Matlab course. I'll take a quick walkthrough over the Python course. In the Python course, again, we will first see all these courses are being designed so that if you don't know anything about coding, then also you can easily like upskill yourself from the basic right to the advanced. So we are always starting with a scratch from zero knowledge to the advanced section. So here in Python also, first we'll be dealing with all the basics concepts like related to say variables, identifier, indentations, okay, how it is different and how it is a lot easier compared to the other programming language where you have to write 200 lines of code, and rather in Python just one line of code can easily do the entire task. So with that concept in mind, we will be starting right from the basics, and so up to module 1 to module 7 we are covering the entire knowledge which is required in order for you to become a good programmer, okay, so that you can you don't stuck later on in anything which you want to transform in a real life problem into a script file. So whatever basic knowledge is required, like how to create functions, modules, and all these things, that all will be covering from module 1 to module 7 with the error exceptional handling part also. And after that, from module 8 onwards, we are focusing on the application oriented. So it is like first you learn the code and then you are focusing on the codes which you should learn in order to develop an applications. So like the web scraping technique, because again, you know that there are packages based upon subscription or SaaS softwares which have a monthly subscription in order to do the task. So companies who have their own developer, they generally create their own free of cost algorithms through which they can access the data and do the task. And after that, web scraping is just one application. Then we will move towards the machine learning and artificial intelligence system development, as what we have seen in the Matlab also. The same thing will how we can do in case of Python, using the same computer vision and all this regression classifier and different unsupervised and supervised learning model. And after that, the web automation part, because now these days web automation is playing a huge important role, because it can be beneficial not only for the organization or rather for you also. Say suppose if you are a student and you are looking for a job, okay, now you want to hunt those companies who have or who requires the skill set for yours. So with the Selenium platform, you can easily get thousands of companies if just you have to create your own custom algorithm, and it can drop the email, it can drop the custom message to their inbox and different social media platform. So within a half an hour, you can deal with thousands of people. So that is the power of like if you use these types of knowledge for your purpose, also it will be a lot beneficial. And as you move towards from the basic to advanced, you'll be assigned different kinds of project also. So we'll be giving 2 to 3 days for you also to develop the project. If you require any assistance, that also will be provided. Now I'll come towards the pricing. So the entire course, whether you take Python or you take Matlab, they both are of 4 weeks training, like rigorous training program. So the total fee is around 4,000, which you can pay it in 2 installments. Okay, that is 2,000 per installment. And now this is all about the Python and the Matlab program. Now I'll switch over to Mr. Ramesh, and he'll be dealing with the civil softwares. After that, whatever doubt, if anybody have, will be taking doubt one by one. Mr. Ramesh, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Ramesh, I made you host. Now you can share your screen. I'm stop sharing my screen. Now you can share it.
Okay, thank you, Jay. Okay, so good evening, everyone. So this is Ramesh Alagesh here. Uh, I have been partnering with Retron for civil engineering candidates. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. So basically, is the screen visible, Jay?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, so basically, today I am going to discuss or talk about rather Revit architecture as a software for civil engineers. Okay, so if you are a civil engineer, uh, basically, where do you hold a hedge over an architect? Okay, so basically, you hold a hedge over an architect if you are thorough with BIM concepts. Okay, BIM is building information modeling. So Revit is a part of a BIM. Okay, it is not only the BIM, but it is a part of a BIM which will help you design a project completely and to a level where you can manage the assets. For example, if you have used a chair inside your building, okay, so you can decide and you want to replace the chair probably 2 or 3 years down the line. All you need to do is if you have filled the information in your model, you can retrieve like who is the manufacturer, what is the cost you have paid, and what is the type of the chair involved. So just imagine in a building how many equipments are used. Okay, especially if it's a mall, if it's a hospital, if any of those bigger buildings, if it's a apartments. Okay, so just imagine how many assets you have to manage, correct? So it becomes very tedious to manage the assets via like just on an Excel or any other platform. So this software helps you to give details which can then be utilized to whenever required. Okay, so basically this software, if you see at the top, okay, you have architecture, structure, steel, systems. Systems is nothing but your MEP, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing part. Okay, architecture is basically to do a architectural stuff. Okay, so let me show you a 3D model. Okay, so you can see here we have built one 3D model here. Okay, so see, this is an architectural stuff. Okay, this doesn't have any complex shapes. Okay, it is like your regular buildings, correct? So I can create using these kind of buildings using my architecture. So that is one thing that you will be learning. Okay, so building these kind of buildings, a regular buildings in this architectural tab. Okay, then if you come the next one. Okay, so this is called as massing environment, where you build complex shapes. Okay, it's a irregular shape which cannot be built in the architecture tab. Okay, you have to go to something called massing. Okay, here is where you build your massing environment. Using this is your massing environment. Using this, you will build any complex shapes. Okay, for example, we have built a shape like this, which was used for event management company for the website. Okay, so this will go into a different software and final rendering and all that will be done, and then that is how we do it. But what I want you to establish or know is uh, so this way you can create complex irregular shapes even in this software. Okay, so the next environment that you will be going to learn is, okay, so families. Okay, so family in Revit. Just a second. Okay, family in Revit is nothing but if you come to the 3D of this. Okay, if I just revolve. Okay, so just imagine. So family in Revit is nothing but parametric modeling. What is parametric modeling? I can create any kind of equipment, but I can also create the types I need. Okay, for example, if I want a simple uh, shape, okay, canopy simple, okay, and if I just change it, you can see how automatically it is changing to a simpler canopy. If I change it to a complex, so I can give conditions like this, and here if I go down and increase the value, okay, for example I change this to 5, see automatically now your canopy has increased by 5 awnings. Okay, so I can control the number of awnings, I can control the number of brackets. This is applicable to any components that you create. For example, I create tables, I create chairs, I create doors, I create windows. I can apply this concept. So and I can also create different types within the type. Okay, so so for example, the door will have a single door, it will have a double door. Now that is two types of doors. Within that I will have the size variations, correct? So those kind of stuffs are created in families, okay, and then imported into this. So that is called parametric modeling. So you have three basically 3 or 4 segments within this. That is your architecture, family, massing, and then you have something called structures as well. Okay, so for example you can see this building. So we are creating structures for analysis, structural analysis of the building as well. So this is a complete package software where you will be able to do the entire stuff starting required for a building. Okay, so so this is how you can go about it. And if you see my just a second. If you see my if you see my course content, so family, if you have to learn the Revit family course itself, you will have to learn nearly 70 topics basically. Okay, and if I take similarly the massing concept, you will have to learn another 60 topics. Okay, and same way if you have to learn structures, okay, you will have to go through another 70 topics. Okay, and architecture in itself has got another 70 topics, so nearly 70 into 4, so it's nearly 280 topics that you will have to cover in a given span of time. So this course, if you are interested, will require anywhere between say 2 months. Okay, minimum of maximum of 2 months. Okay, given every day we are looking at probably 2 hours per day. Okay, but you can choose any one among this, and we are giving a cost of around 3000 rupees uh, per variation. Like Revit architecture will cost you 3000, Revit family will cost you 3000. So you can choose any one, or you can take it as a combined. The combined package cost is around 5000 rupees per head. Okay, so this is how we are planning to do the thing. And if you pay 5000, you will be able to do the entire stuff, which will charge the outside. They will charge you anywhere between 40,000 to 45,000. Okay, so that is the costing that I am giving, because we are looking at numbers here. So hope you got an idea of how to do it. uh, Anything else, Jay? Any
Yeah, thank
questions?
you,
If
Ramesh.
you people
You
have
can make me
any
host
questions
again.
regarding it, you can ask me. 1 minute. Oh my God. So where do I make you host here?
Mm, when you click
Okay,
on the
okay.
participant
Yeah,
in
yeah,
top,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I made you the host.
Okay, okay. And you can stop your screen so that I can share mine. Okay, thank you. Yeah, if any participant have any doubt, now you can have an interaction with us, because last 6 minutes are pending. So the same goes with the mechanical domain area also. So just I'll take 2 minutes and then we will have our interactive sessions. So in mechanical section also, like right from the designing and parametric, because parametric is the demand of now these days. Nobody wants to put entire effort again and again. If say, for example, if I'm a mechanical engineer and I require to make a gear and it takes me 3 hours, then if in future the design parameter if changes, then I don't want to invest again 3 hours. Rather, I want a script that if I change the values, it makes the entire design within a second. So that is what is the advantage of parametric design, and it is the essence now and demand for every product development companies. And obviously the integration is required also, like how you can easily integrate with Excel to the other documents. So Matlab again like can easily integrate with the 3D softwares also. So that is the power. So whatever software you learn, because for the product development we require a combination of different types of software. One software we require for product development, other software for simulation, other for analysis, and other for again electrical part. Okay, so obviously like ecosystem of softwares is required in order to make a complete product from A to Z. So in this course also you will be going through all those detail, like how first you will create the design, then you will make the assembly, after that you will trace with the help of virtual sensor, rather not putting an actual sensor, and you'll finding the parameters. And then like for the fabrication of design, you'll be doing drafting for to avoid the failures of product. You will be doing some force analysis based upon FEA and CFT. So these are the things there. And in the robotics area, basically now in present industry, more companies are interested towards the IoT domain. So in robotics and in this course, we'll be dealing first with the hardware and integration with the electronics part, and then how we can easily integrate with the cloud system in order to control or actuate some components, some physical hardwares. So that all you will be learning inside the IoT course domain also. So what I will do, I'm pasting a Google form link. So those who are interested to start this training right from this week, they just kindly fill this form, so that I'll be putting all the course PDF to their mail, and you can easily get all the information in detail. So I have put in the chat. So I request all the participants to kindly fill the details. And now if any participant have any doubt, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. Okay. Any doubt from participants? Arpit, do you have any doubt?
No, sir. Sir, share your program catalog in the WhatsApp group, so
Okay,
we can
sure.
forward the
Fine.
authority of our organization.
Okay, definitely.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Raju, tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you take the course, then what will be the timing for the
Yeah, so
classes
in
and
this
all?
Google form link now, let me show it to you. If you click it, then we have 4 timings available, okay, as per your availability. Like somebody are more free in their first half, so they can join from 10 to 11:30, this slot they can take. And then we have another slot. So as per your convenience, you just put it, check the relevant option, and we will arrange something for you in that perspective. So if you have multiple times, then what I will recommend you, in the mentioned course area, you can put multiple time slots also in which you can have the sessions. So accordingly, we'll consider that. Let me make it a checkbox instead of this thing. So instead of this, I'll make it a checkbox. So you can select now multiple options. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So today I'll drop an email regarding all the course structures and along with the Google form. So kindly fill these details. And if you have any query, you can reply to our email or you can contact us via our WhatsApp group. So that way also we will get back to you within 6 hours. Okay. So still 1 minute is there. If anybody have any doubt, you can discuss. And here, because some students have asked, because they want to enroll in multiple courses, so you can write all the courses which you want to opt for, and we will arrange the timings and everything for you. Because in earlier Google form, there was option, so you cannot select more than one. But here, I just put it as a plain text, so you can write as many courses you want to opt for. Okay. So this is all about the just quick walkthrough. And yes, if anybody after doing the entire course program and now you are looking for some application, say for your portfolio development in order to be placed in a good company or an MNC. So there also we can help you in development of the products or applications which can put a more weightage towards your job selection. Okay, so the portfolio development and accordingly, like what product you should be working on, which can help you. So that will come under the internship part. So after training, you can opt for it, and there is no charge for that.